Alright people, welcome back again to the channel. Today, as you can see by the title, of course, we're going to be talking about how to avoid common mistakes people make whilst they're trading. This is people in beginner stage, people that have been trading for time, but I feel like these are a lot of common mistakes people make when I've spoken to people in the past and stuff, or even mistakes that I made that you have to overcome whilst you're trading and obviously to get profitable. So straight away, we're going to talk about the first one, entering positions too early. Now, I feel like this comes from people that it all ties back to you thinking you know what's going to happen. This all ties back to that. So when you think you know what's going to happen next in the market, it leads to a lot of problems that I'll say these are like the three main. There's obviously other problems that come, but when you think you know what's going to happen due to your setup happening, it always makes you do these three things. So let's talk about thinking you know what's going to happen first. So when you think you know what's going to happen, okay, let's say you've got this setup that always happens and more time than not it works. Let's say like 70% of the time it works. Alright, so you think you know what's going to happen now. And now you enter the position and this time it doesn't work, it doesn't pan out, it ends up being a loss. Yeah, this is the setup that works more oftentimes than not, but this time it don't work. So now, because of this, sometimes people enter too early, or you might revenge trade. Let's say the first position loses, you're like, okay, I know this is going to go up, so I'm going to enter it again. You enter it again, lose it again, revenge trade it. Or you might over leverage, so it's like, okay, I know what's going to happen, I've done this up numerous times. Or let's say I just learned the strategy, I know it's going to work, So now you go, okay, it's going to work, I might as well just oversize what I normally do, rather than risking 1% or maybe however much percentage you risk. I'm going to risk over that. I'm going to risk maybe 10 times that or something because you think it's got to work, do you know what I'm saying? But no, it's not how trading works. You don't know what's going to happen. So if you have that thinking of you don't know what's going to happen, I'm telling you, it's going to lead you to not make those mistakes. Because if you don't know what's going to happen, even though this is a setup, yeah, and more often times than not it works, you don't know if it's going to work. Sometimes it might take out a low and then go if you're looking to get in a long position. So you put your stop there, it takes out the low, then it goes. Do you know that was going to happen? No, because you entered after the confirmation and now it took out the low and now it's going. But is that a bad trade? No, we still followed the rules, you know what I'm saying? But you just got to charge it to the game. That's what trading is, the probabilities, literally. And that's what a lot of people get wrong. Because you're doing an analysis and it's telling you more certain than not that this position or this setup is going to happen, you think because you've done analysis, now you're right. But that's not how it works, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going to happen. So that's the main thing you need to think of. You don't know what's going to happen. Now, let's talk about entering too early. So, let's say break and retest setup. You're looking to get in on a pullback. And now you want to wait for confirmation for price to come back up. So whether that's a confirmation candle, like a bullish hammer or an engulfing candle, or you want to wait on the lower time frames for structure to break back to the upside, whatever it is. It's a lot of things that people can have, whatever your trading system is. It could be, obviously I know mine, I'm waiting for structure to break back to the upside, then boom. Now, because you are so certain that you know, okay, it's an uptrend, my setup is developing, it hasn't happened just yet, but I know because we're in uptrend, price is going to go up. So now you think, maybe on a win streak, you think, okay, my setup is going to happen, I'm looking to get in long. Price might not give you the confirmation, it might not break structure yet, it might not do whatever your entry signal is. You just think, listen, if I can enter a bit more earlier than that, I might be able to get a better or whatever things you tell yourself. You know what you tell yourself when you're trading, do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's thing is different, but you might think, okay, I can just enter a bit earlier, I'll be able to have a smaller stop or whatever bullshit you tell yourself. Now boom, you break your rules, the trade goes against you. Now how many times does that happen? Do you know what I'm saying? So instead of waiting for your confirmation, you just jump the gun and you enter the position and now you just got a loss. Do you know what I'm saying? Come on man, you need to stop doing that. Trust me, we've all been there, but you've got to take it out of your game right now. And like I said, what does that tie down to? I'll go back to is you thinking you know what's going to happen in the market. You don't know, nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? You can have an edge, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen in that present trade. So boom, that's the first one. Second one is revenge trading. So let's say again, same sort of scenario. You're waiting to get in on long on a break and retest. Boom, price comes back to your level. You're like, okay, cool. I've been on a win streak, or this is my edge. It happens all the time. Whatever you tell yourself. And now, boom, the position presents itself. You set your stop. You do everything right, but you think, oh, this is gonna win. So let me just over risk. Let me risk half of my account or something stupid. Do you know what I'm saying? Or let me risk more than I'll usually risk. And now, boom, that trade loses, and now you're in a loss. And now all your gains that you just made from your nice wins or win streak you've been on, it's just gone. All because of that stupid mistake. You know what I'm saying? That's another way to kill your account. And another one is, let's say you just done that now. Now you're like, oh fuck, I've just killed my account, or I've damaged my account because I've risked too much. Do you know what? I might have to find another position, or when my next setup comes, I'm gonna risk more, or I'm gonna revenge trade. So do you know what you do? The setup comes, let's say it stops you out, and then it comes back up, and you're like, okay, cool. Now I'm certain it's gonna go. It's done a stop out or whatever. Boom. Let me enter again. And then what happens? You revenge traded. That price goes against you again. Stops you out. Trust me, the market is funny like that, man. But I like doing stuff when you least expect it's gonna happen. That's why you gotta, like I said, think you know what's gonna happen. You've got to cut that out. You gotta know you don't know what's gonna happen. You just know your edges in play. Now let me see what happens. Now, how would you think in the market, in all of these scenarios, if you knew you don't know what's gonna happen? Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, you're not gonna overtrade. You're not gonna enter too early. You're not gonna over leverage. You're not gonna revenge trade, and that's all because you know you don't know what's gonna happen in the market. You know your edges in play, but you know you don't know what's gonna happen in the market. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's literally what it ties down to. That's the thing that they say in the book of Trading at the Zone. If you guys have read that as well, like that's basically what trading is. The probabilities. You don't know what's gonna happen, but you know when your edges in play a certain amount over a period of time, you know you're gonna be up. You know what I'm saying? You know you're gonna make money in the market. So that's literally what it's about, man. So yeah, that's like the main mistakes people make in the market, the ones that I can think of. Obviously there might be others that you make, but still I'm sure it'll tie down to, if you look at yourself, it ties down to you think you know what's gonna happen in the market. But that's like the main belief. You gotta know you don't know what's gonna happen in the market. And then boom, once you have that foundational belief, you're not gonna make all these stupid mistakes in the market. Do you know what I'm saying? And then yeah, hopefully this video could help. Just trying to share the knowledge I've learned from the market and give it to you guys. So make sure you catch me on the next video. Other than that,